all this Georgia law, my voter suppression, all it does is just it's not a whole lot I can say in addition that I haven't already said, but it proves, of course, another latest example of how many people are just absolute sheep, right? Instead of listening to sports talk radio, which is really the only type of radio that I listen to because the rest of it's dog crap, and even them just sitting here talking about it, I think because of the MLB, how loosely they just discuss it as if it is. It doesn't even matter if it's true, right? They just assume, well, okay, people's voter rights are being suppressed and all of this sort of stuff. And they just listen to these political and sports pundits just talk about that as if that's for sure the case. Like that's what's happening. That's exactly what it is. Remember, I put a post out there on Facebook, not Facebook, Twitter. I said, can anybody just pinpoint exactly where such, with this new Georgia law thing, voter suppression exists? Like what, and don't cite what the pundits are saying. Cite to me what the actual law. And they can't do it. They'll repeat the same thing over and over. It's the water thing, right? More water. Well, you can't give water to people. Like, first of all, y'all going to polls to be eating snacks and man, get out of my face. Anyway, but that's not even what the damn law stated regarding polls. It didn't even state anything about nobody could ever get water from anybody. It just couldn't come from people that are generally directed with, like either be elected campaigns, private citizens, or what have you. But the poll workers and whatnot are absolutely able to do it. And if you were outside of that, I believe it was like 151 feet, that and above, you're good to go. You want to get your snacks or whatever. And I'm sitting here like, y'all really got bent out of shape on that? See, this ain't about truth, guys. It ain't about truth. And actuality, when it comes to like the early voting and all of that, the law expanded that. But who cares about the truth, dude? Like, at this point, if anything, the COVID should have showed you this ain't about truth when you're operating with these brainlets. It never was, but it certainly isn't now. This is why it's continuously, and this is why I'm not going to spend all this time trying to debunk to make, because my overall point is solid regardless. But there's no sense in trying to sit there and go word for word with these guys, because I was a 100-page deal. It doesn't matter. Like, even like lawyers sitting here, we talked about this on News and Why It Matters. Like, yeah, I don't know where Joe Biden, he got, just lying his tail off about what's going on in the Georgia situation. Even what his Washington Post had to see, yeah, he's just making stuff up. That's not what the thing. It doesn't matter, bro. You're not arguing with people that care anything about truth. It is strictly narrative. It is strictly emotional. And all the voting thing with the Georgia law thing, all it does is provide them a new avenue and a new vehicle to say the same bull crap that they've been saying. So when you, as I always say, you're sitting up trying to convince these guys like, hey, these are the facts. They don't care about the facts. They don't care about that. You are. See, I don't know how many more times I have to prove, or rather utilize, leftists being dipsticks to prove to you that the people that benefit the most from a lot of you guys, whether it be conservatives, and your desire to quote unquote save the republic, the only people that benefit from that right now are the leftists. All you're doing is ensuring their power structure. They will lie, cheat, steal, hit a girl, to get whatever power it is that you're ensuring needs to be there, because you're obsessed with this idea of the right people being in those positions. They don't care, man. This is why I'm not operating from a standpoint of, I don't even get engaged in politics. This is like, it's funny because I know some people are going to be like, well, this guy just Republican. Y'all understand? I don't even vote. Okay, I'm looking at this purely objectively. I don't get involved in that bull crap. I talk about all the time culture, politics, change the culture to politics, change by default. So much is culturally jacked that none of that even matters. Nonetheless, I can look at it objectively as a freaking non-vote. I don't even vote, man. And looking at this objectively, I'm like, that law did not say anything about what y'all talking about. What y'all talking about? Oh, wait. They don't care. They're stupid. Well, they're smart enough to understand that you are so hell-bent on trying to lead with facts and lead with logic, lead with reason to people that are unreasonable people. They're just rattling off as if everything they say is truth, even though verifiably so, objectively so, it's false. But they just talk as if that's the case. Watching, or rather listening to these sports pundits talk about what's going, like with the MLB moving, the All-Star game from Georgia. That's what happened from Atlanta because of voter suppression or civic duty and all this other bull crap. Did they ever cite? They couldn't even directly even cite what was going on, like what specifically is the problem, because all they're doing is just regurgitating what they heard someone else say. So if you get enough people, particularly pundits, and you show how culture is the leading thing, right? Because you see how these pundits and like people that are leaders definitely get there and just say whatever, and then it gains legs, right? And it just moves, and it has a mind of its own, and it's uncontrollable. Why do you think that's the case? It's not because they're smart, or rather they're leading with reason and they're convincing people by way of that. No, it's because, well, they have a status. People listen to these folks and they're brainless. So they just, oh, well, it sounds good. Voter suppression, right? This is a way for me to demonize the people that I hate. Okay, bam, we'll just run with this narrative no matter how false it is. No matter how false. And it's hilarious because all of this is centered around voting. You think a situation like this, as you see so many people be stupid, you think a situation like this would prove maybe there's something flawed with that system fundamentally. That all those people that you see just rattling off more water, just rattling off the same. It was what happened, you know, some dude in a lab sent out the firmware update or whatever. And now they water, can't food and water. So they just repeat everything they heard someone say. My drop boxes, which is pertaining to, you know, we're not in a pandemic anymore. And, oh, my drop boxes, suppression, voter ID, it's racist. Meanwhile, hey, man, can you prove that you got the jab? Okay, you can't prove it. I bet you can't go to these the same people advocating vaccine passports, then they talk about IDs. And look, man, like I said, I say this as a person that don't even get engaged with that bull crap. You're wasting your time trying to reason with these people. You see they're unreasonable people. You see that they don't have to be honest. They don't try. They're not even trying. They're not even attempting to be honest. But like I said, we're talking about voting. Maybe it's something flawed with that system. Because all those people that are peddling that nonsense, they get to vote. All those stupid people that you see on Twitter just repeating whatever other people say, just retweeting it because blue check mark said it, not even looking at it for themselves, just repeating a lie, a verifiable lie, objective lie. Definitely when it comes to the water situation, objective lies, they don't care. They just say it. Heard someone else say it, saw someone else say it, retweeted, quote tweeted, say, oh, my voter suppression and all of this sort of stuff. Those people get to vote. Again, electing people is a bad thing, I'd argue, regardless, but especially at a democratic process where everybody just gets to say, kind of, I'm telling y'all, that doesn't equal good. It doesn't equal just at all, because you're seeing how stupid people are, and their vote counts just as much. You just watched a clip from my podcast, For Canon's Sake. Catch us live at 12 p.m. throughout the week over at youtube.com/YoungRipper59 and follow us over at odyssey.com/@YoungRipper59. If you want to watch the entire video cast after the show is over, just be sure to become a member on the YouTube channel. Of course, the full audio portion of the podcast is available for free on all major digital platforms, or just visit forcanonsake.com.